Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Shirley Bias, and I am a 20-year Army veteran. I am an author, a coach, and a multifamily investor, as well as a speaker. And I'm so glad to be here with you today.
Hey, y'all. My name is Brooke Ceballos Pinheiro, and I am a mom, I am a wife, I am an investor, a coach, and a speaker. And actually, we're co-authors in a book together as well, Real Women in Real Estate. And so I'm so happy. I know that you guys have blessed us with your presence today, and we're going to be talking about side hustles. Why is a side hustle important? Especially nowadays, you guys, inflation is through the roof. Everything is going up in cost except for our money, except for people's paychecks, right? And
Oh,
so
yes.
you feel the pain, and I know nobody's exempt from it. I don't care if you're a millionaire, you're pulling 20 grand a month, you're feeling that pinch at the gas pump, you're feeling that pinch when you go get groceries, okay? We're all feeling the pinch. And so a side hustle, I feel, is great for you to get some extra income to come in. It can pave the way to start your own business if that is a long-term goal for you. I do want to share a memory, and I want to hear something from Shirley, any of her side hustles. I think my first hustle was when I was living in Vallejo in the 80s. But not a good time to live in Vallejo, y'all. And and me and our neighbors, our friends, big shout out to Arinda, Niger, and everybody else out there. All of us girls got together and we would sell dance performances, and we would pull weeds and garden and all of these things for our neighbors, and then we would go blow the money on candy. But do you remember your side
Awesome.
hustle, or when you started working at all just to make some money?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like it was kind of like similar to you, like when I was younger in, the early 90s, mid 90s, when we had the hip hop and stuff like that. Like me and my cousins would like start dancing in front of the family, expecting them to, tip us or do something. So we
Give us
used
a
to do
dollar
like
dollar
skits.
bills.
Exactly. And we used to do like these performances, like the people on Star Search and all of that, but that didn't equate to nothing. So they were just
I
like,
love
move along, move
that.
along. So
I think that's cute though, because I think growing up, I wanted to do that. I wanted to be a backup dancer. That was like, dude, I
oh
want to be a
yes.
backup dancer, like like Janet Jackson and Paula Abdul back in the day. But I digress. So what we want to cover today is one, why side hustles are important, and then Shirley's going to cover how do I start a side hustle and how do I choose that. So to kick us off, we kind of touched bases on that. So one, additional income, right? So you need to have extra income past your primary source. It's just smart. All the upper one percenters have an average of 6 to 7 above additional income flow. So if one goes down, you have some backup, you guys. You can use that to pay off debt or invest or put money to travel. Second, it's to diversify. That kind of goes back into that additional income, right? And having multiple flows, because it allows you to have more money in case you lose your primary job, or to have that FU money, I like to call it sometimes, where if you're not happy in your W 2, you can say, hey, I'm out. I'm not going to do this anymore. Three, humans are the most successful when they are developing their skills. So when you are doing a side hustle, it's going to give you the opportunity to grow and learn new skills that you can apply to your business or even to your W 2. Um, Flexibility. So eventually, a lot of us, I would think, but we want to be our own boss one day. We want
Oh yeah.
autonomy. I want to be able to, I wake up, do something for myself, take the kids to school, work from home, be home for dinner, and not having somebody hover over me telling me what to do. And if I have multiple flows of income, that buys me that flexibility to run my day and be my own boss. Second to last, entrepreneurial experience. So it is hard, you guys, being an entrepreneur. I mean, side hustles are going to be a low risk way for you to test those waters, grow and build a customer base and gain some experience running a business and allowing yourself to fail without quitting your day job fully. Okay. And lastly, personal growth.
Mm.
So, side hustles, you have to step outside your comfort zone, you guys.
Oh
And I
yeah.
have I've been getting more and more comfortable. This is outside of my comfort zone. Me and Shirley doing the lives, and me having Shirley here. Really quick pause. Her birthday was yesterday, y'all. Happy
Oh
birthday,
my
Shirley. Happy belated. I blew her up yesterday, but y'all, if you did not celebrate Shirley or shout her out, this beautiful girl had her
thank
birthday
you.
yesterday. Looking better, like, bottled wine. Looking better as you age, girl. So let me reiterate before I pass it over to Shirley to learn what should I do for my side hustle. So why side hustles? Additional income, diversify, skill development, flexibility to run your day, obtain entrepreneurial experience, and your own personal growth. So I'm going to pass the mic to Shirley, and she's going to help us understand how do I decide my side hustle and how do I get started on that. So floor is
I
yours,
love
baby girl.
that. No, I love that, Brooke, and thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm usually very low key when it comes to birthdays, but like I told my friends, you need to celebrate yourself every once in a while, right? And just be thankful that we're here alive and that we're here with you guys, pouring into you every Tuesday. So be with us as well. And so I really like the fact that you said, hey, personal development, because this definitely being an entrepreneur and having a side hustle definitely takes you outside of the box. And that's great because when you're testing yourself, that's when you have a breakthrough, right? That's when you have growth. And so I really love that area. Now, you would ask yourself, how do you choose a side hustle, right? And I would tell you that you would need four ingredients, right? You need to be able to help others. Okay, you need to be of value to others. You need to understand what's on demand right now in the market. What do others are seeking, not necessarily telling you right up front, but you're analyzing kind of like the trend of what people are searching for nowadays, right? Another one is, and the most important one is definitely it has to be enjoyable for you. You have to enjoy what you do. It has to be something within you, a passion that you have, and it has to be fulfilling. And I always say that when you feel fulfilled is when you really know that you're helping others, right?
Right.
And then last but not least, because this is a business, right? It needs to be scalable. Okay. You need to make the moolah at
Moolah.
one point in time, right? You need to make the dough to pay
Get the
for,
bag.
exactly, and those are the four ingredients definitely that you need to know right off the back when you want to choose a side hustle. Now, where do I start? And I always say it starts with YOU. It starts with you, your self-assessment, understanding like what your weaknesses and strengths are. And that takes a lot of self-reflection or thinking about when you used to be at work, some of the things that you knew that you excelled at, right? And or that they would put you in charge of, right? And that's another word for stating, okay, what is your superpower? That is so elusive for a lot of people because astonishingly, like surprisingly, a lot of people don't know their superpower and they're doing it every day, but you do it so subconsciously that you don't even think about it. But step back and do some self-assessment. Number two, definitely do your market research. You have to understand what's on demand in the community to assist. Okay. You can't, like Brooke says, she says it all the time, you can't be everything to everybody, right? And so when you start a side hustle, you have to start small. Okay. And then when you're able to test it out, you can expand, right? Number three, and one of my favorite is evaluating resources. I'm a super resourceful person, at least I think I am, because I love having options. Okay. In the military, they taught us how to be planners, right? And they always teach us have three contingencies, okay? Because if option number one doesn't work, then you have contingency number two and number three to choose from. So look around you, look at your networking, at your network. Look at, also assess your time. How much time do you have to put into this, right? If it's a passion project, you're definitely gonna be able to carve out some time. Also, with me, like for example, in my area, like I've identified the Entrepreneurship Collaborative Center, and it's a hub, it's a brick and mortar where all
Wait, that's a
entrepreneurs in
real
the
thing?
Tampa, oh yes,
Oh,
here in the Tampa
cool.
area. Yes, look for that in your local area. It might not be called the same thing, but here it's called the Entrepreneur Collaborative Center. It might be different for where you live, but definitely that is a hub where we get together, where all entrepreneurs get together. They have networking events, they have workshops, they have education centers, and a lot of resources around the Tampa area or where you live. So I love that place. That's kind of like my second home right now. And I've gotten to learn a lot. Also, become a member of your local chamber. Become a member of your local chamber, okay? Because that also opens you up to opportunities, maybe partner with other people, opportunities in the area so you can understand really your market in your area. So that's a great place to go ahead and evaluate like your market. Okay. And of course you have to have resource. You got to have a little bit of money. But nowadays the great thing is that you can do a lot of things online. So you don't have a lot of overhead. So you can leverage that to your advantage and then put your time and your other resources to good use in other areas. Okay. So number 4 is exploring options. Okay, there's a plethora of options to do side hustles, right? One of my favorites is volunteer work. I do a lot of volunteer work in my community. I volunteer as a marketing specialist. I volunteer as a coach and mentor for transitioning service members. You can also freelance and do things that other people don't want to do and are willing to pay you. So let me tell you, one of the other resources that you can use to freelance is called Fiverr, and you can create a profile there depending on your strengths and what you can help out with. There's graphic design, there's editing for people that want to write books. I know that helped me a lot when I wrote my first book. So there's a plethora of resources out there that you can definitely leverage to your advantage. So there's no excuse to not open up a side hustle. Number 5 is, test and experiment. This is fun. Like, there's a lot of times where like me and Brooke are, super frustrated because this ain't easy, y'all. Let me tell you,
No,
if it
it's
was
not.
easy, everybody would do it, right? Everybody would do it and everybody would be successful. There's days where we have our highs and then there's days where we have our lows.
But
And
what
let
keeps
me
us
tell you,
going? But what keeps
show
us going?
up, show up. That's what it is. And just test it out. It's testing and let it go and testing other things and kind of see what sticks, right? Obviously not deviating from your client, ideal client or your avatar and the services that you want to render. Okay. Um, Seek feedback. Okay. It starts with you. Sometimes people outside of you know your gifts more than yourself. So do a quick assessment to people that you like and trust, of course, and people that are going to be honest with you. Like, hey, look, I've seen you help me on X, Y, and Z. Something that you would even say, oh my God, I didn't even think about it that way. But they're like, oh my God, you really helped me in this. Like, you totally changed like my perspective or whatever. Kind of seek and see the trend of what people provide you, and that would paint a picture of some of the superpowers that you have that you can put into play when you're actioning, your side hustle or building your side hustle. And of course, understand that it takes baby steps. It goes back to the roller coaster ride, right? I mean, me and Brooke are at a, how do you say, a Busch Gardens or Six Flags, because I'm telling you, like, it's a roller coaster ride,
Up and
but
down.
up and down, up and down. And sometimes when we think we got it all figured out, it's like, woo, it's like a punch in the gut. And we got to start from square one. But guess what? It's baby steps, okay? And sometimes you got to give yourself grace, okay? And know what is the bigger picture here? What is the bigger mission? What keeps us going is that the mission is bigger than ourselves. Okay, what the lives that we want to touch and the lives that we want to change are so much more than our freaking egos or our, patent and be like, oh, they told me that I didn't do it correctly today or blah. No, okay. You live and learn and you move
Right.
on. Okay, it's baby steps. Have some grace. And of course, evaluate and adapt. And for us military people, that's called an AAR, an after action review. Okay, whenever you do something, you go back to the drawing board and you think about and you analyze what went right, what went wrong, and any recommendations that you can provide for the next time. Okay, so it should be a circle. It comes full circle, okay? And we should have actually a graph kind of with like the full circle of all these actions that you need to take and evaluate and keep on doing it because it's repetitive and continuous, okay? What's important here is the consistency. The consistency here is what's important. Forget about the naysayers, forget about whoever. You within yourself know and believe that this is it because you've seen people that maybe are not at your level that are doing it, that are doing it. So why not? There's a plethora. I don't know how many millions or trillions of people we have on earth. Well, there's always somebody here to service. There's always somebody to service. Okay. So make sure that you implement those 8 steps, and we're definitely going to put those 8 steps in a nice graphic type of document for you guys to attain from us. And like I said, and it's all about enjoying the ride, right, Brooke?
110%. And even though when her and I do these lives, we have a high level, okay, this is our topic, these are the takeaways, but I still learn something from Shirley every time, even though I'm always talking to her. And so, a couple things that she said that I do want to touch on that I love is the feedback. So, feedback is a gift, it most definitely is. However, make sure that it is aligned with your avatar and that it is aligned with you and your partner's vision, or even if it's just you, right? Because it's so easy for us to get caught up in trying to please everybody. And that goes back to Shirley's, comment that I always say, we can't be everything to everybody and consider the source. The feedback you're getting, who is that person and are they in a place that you want to be at? Okay, because
Mm.
the journey of being an entrepreneur, y'all, is hard enough with the pivoting and the punches to the gut and okay, going back to the drawing board when you think you got it landed. But in full transparency, if you are not where I want to be at, or I don't consider you a mentor, or you're not a successful business owner, I'm going to take some of what you say with a grain of salt a little bit, and then I'm going to pull out what I need and share it with Shirley and get her perspective. Because bottom line, this is your project, okay? You're the boss, you're running the show, so implement what is necessary to you. Another thing that she said that I really love that I get questions on is raising capital. So it's so easy to be a millionaire nowadays, you guys, because there's no overhead when you're doing online courses. There is, I think Kajabi's like a couple $100 and you have like the newsletters and the course curriculum. And I know we're not utilizing
Yeah,
the full capability.
but you're not paying rent
Right?
or anything like.
Exactly. And so bootstrap, you guys. If you really believe, because so many people were like, well, how do you raise capital for a business or this or that? Because her and I are part of other groups and this comes up a lot. And if you guys can just lead with what you're trying, the value you're giving, and just make it remote and online, that will remove a lot of things. And you just put in your own money. Hence why it's good to have your own day job. Okay. And I love the entrepreneurship, the collab center that you're a part of. I think that's fabulous, like a hub for entrepreneurs, because this journey is lonely. In full
Mhm.
transparency, it is like the only real human interaction I'm really getting is my invest her group, which is only once a month on a Thursday, and these lives with you guys and my calls with my partners and Shirley, because you lose a lot of friends and people on the journey because of the naysayers, or they don't believe in you, whatever it might be. So Shirley, thank you for touching base on that, or in the local Chamber of Commerce events. When I was at AT&T, I attended all these events, and that grows your network, you guys.
Oh,
And it
yes.
shows you take your business seriously. And these are other entrepreneurs that can share the grievances, the good, the high, the lows, and let you know you're not alone, right? And it's normal what you're feeling. And so, what I also would like to do before we summarize, me and Shirley would love to give you guys some books and podcasts that have helped us along the way. So, for me, I speak about Rachel Rogers all the time, and I simply adore her. So, her first book, We Should All Be Millionaires, was wonderful, from statistics to facts to her own personal journey, being a woman of color and coming up the ranks, so like just and how easy it is to be a millionaire. So check that book out. As well as she just came out with another one on Audible that is Six Figure Side Hustle, which kind of complements what we're
Yeah.
telling you guys today. And I also like Make No Small Plans. And that's kind of like my lingo now for everything. Which is by Elliot Bisnow, Brett Lee, Jeff Rosenthal, and Jeremy Schwartz. And it tells them the story of how they started this summit, that all of these businesses, and it was literally 4 or 5 guys in a tiny studio out of New York, and maxing out their credit cards, and they were so broke living off top ramen and cereal, but their vision for their business was just bigger than them. And you're going to make sacrifices, and it's going to be hard, but you push through it and you think about the vision ahead. So I would love to hear books. And 10X Roll, Grant Cardone, because dude, don't stop and be consistent. So,
Always.
what are some books and podcasts that have helped you, Shirley, on this journey?
Yeah, no, definitely. So I go back to like my classics, right? The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People,
Stephen Covey.
by Stephen
Yes.
Covey. I mean, I'm telling you, that book I can take and read it and reread it because it just has a lot of wisdom and a lot of nuggets for the average person as well as an entrepreneur, right? Another podcast that I like is from Amy Porterfield. I mean, she is the boss when it comes to online marketing and online coaching. Like, she's mastered the arena. And so she gives a lot of boot camps for free with a lot of resources. She has her, the podcast where she provides a lot of good golden nuggets, and she brings a lot of great people. Another podcast is the Boss Babe podcast. I think for the lady that runs that podcast, I can't remember her name, but she came from the UK, and she came here on a student visa without anything, and she was just a student, right? And one of the episodes that she was talking about how she felt like an outsider in college here in the United States because she saw all of her classmates getting ready for these business schools and getting ready to get hired on these six-figure, companies. And she said no to all of that when she could have had that, but she knew that there was a purpose within her that was bigger than her, and she went after it. And she's now one of Brandon Burchard's like mentees and stuff like that. Like, she's doing it big. And so those are the people that I like to listen to their stories, follow them, see how they started from grassroots to how they are now, and this is a person. She says she's not a Lambo person. She's not a Ferrari person. She drives a normal car, and she's a millionaire. And that's how wealthy people live. Like, they are simple people. They just know how to play the game. And it all starts with consistency and mindset, people. I'm telling you, people like to think that mindset is an elusive thing, and it's like, oh, blah. It's real, because when you get into those trenches and you come across obstacles, a lot of us, 9 times out of 10, are gonna freaking quit. Okay, so those are my little resources that I like to put out.
I love you. Like I agree 110% in regards to the mindset and having the right people around you, because I remember with one of the mentorships I signed up for, they sent us to a Jesse Itzler boot camp where we camped in tents in the rain in Atlanta in December, and then made us do the ice cold plunge, which one
Whoop
essentially,
whoop!
and then you're doing,
That'll
and then
wake
I
you
did a
up.
two, bro, and then it's a 2 hour, and not, and a lot of people stopped before it even started, and we're bitching like whatever. I'm not going to drop names on that. But then we did a 2 hour like burpees. It was a mental, physical, pouring, storming. I'm in jeans. Big shout out to Benjamin Johnson. Him, it was my buddy, my accountability buddy, for 2 hours in the mud and the rain doing this thing. And I'm like, what the hell? What the F are we doing this? And I was so out of my comfort zone because one, I'm a tattooed professional. So I had to get in like bathing suit, but I had like boy shorts on and a little halter trying to cover up my tattoos, and I'm showing skin, and I'm having to get in front of all of these people in a cold plunge. And I didn't get it at first. But when Jesse Itzler went up there and spoke with us, he said, you guys, the reason for this is when stuff gets hard, who are the people quitting and bitching and whining and leaving? Do you want those people
Mm.
like your business partners? Or do you want the people that overcome the pain and they overcome and they're strategizing? They'll acknowledge the situation sucks, but what can we do to overcome this? What are the lessons learned? What can I do better next time? That was eye-opening to me because I'm like, this is a real estate investment. This is apartment journey. This is an investor mastermind. And I have to go camp out here with all of these people in the rain, run in the mud, and be half naked for all these people with my tattoos. I was just making
All
excuses
that you got
how I
tested.
can get away from it, right? But you guys, the mindset, it's so huge. And I know her and I can do a whole thing just on mindset, because if you don't have a good, mentality of you being successful, then you're going to fail. So I want to summarize kind of what we discussed today. So we've discussed why side hustles are important. And we've also discussed how to choose a side hustle. Okay. And what we would love to do is we have a one pager too, because I know we talk about a lot of things in case you didn't take notes or you didn't have anything with you, where if you DM Crack the Wealth Code on our IG page, just your name and your email, we will send you the bullet points that we covered on why the side hustles are important, along with how to choose your side hustle. So I don't know if there's any questions. I'm grateful for those that joined us. Do you have any final words at all? We have a couple minutes left, Shirley.
No, really, just keep at it, you guys.
Yes.
And let me tell you, we're here for you. We're here for you. Our website is pinned right here, www.crackthewealthcode.org. We also have a fabulous ebook that we would love to give to you. And all you have to do is just go to our webpage and click the button,
Yep.
and you'll get it. It has a lot of great goodness in there about, powering your money, right? Power moves on getting your money right, and all the resources are out there for you to know on how to empower really your finances. And so, hey, look, we're here every Tuesday. Okay, we're here live every Tuesday at 2:30 Eastern, and
11:30 Pacific.
there we go. There we go. On the No BS zone, because her and I, we don't BS with this stuff. Like,
No.
this is a real thing, and we're here for you. So, yeah, join us next time. Same place, same time.
See you at the top. I
Bye
stole your
bye.
line, girl.
There we go. See you at the time. Bye, love.
Bye, y'all.